Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Please go tell somebody. They go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan, all right? At Love HerbMan. You guys go out there and do your thing, all right? We're coming live from South Africa. I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan, all right? All we do here is simply teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. And so we make sure that you understand the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness in this paradigm. Now, this is a free information station. There ain't nothing that you got to pay for, and you're going to learn today, okay? But to pay for this information, all you simply got to do is pay attention. And how you do that is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during this live broadcast, all right? And that's going to help us get this information out to as many people as we possibly can in these 2-hour slots of time, all right? So I'm coming on every day between the times of 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we're coming live from South Africa. I'm live on YouTube and TikTok. So welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to the HerbMan Show. This is where you really learn how to make nature be your intervention, okay? Nature-based interventions, that's what we teach, okay? So go tell somebody we on, man. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. And since we're already there, we might as well go ahead and get into it. Seems like you guys are very eager to do that. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, what we're talking about today and what we're talking about all the time is always going to be what we always going to provide for you as a solution for your health, okay? So that's going to be the owner's manual, okay? And what we're teaching people is for you to understand that every single thing in your paradigm, every single thing in life is moving in a wavelength. And that wavelength is measured by frequency, which is numbers. Basically, the wavelength is measured by numbers. Even when you're talking about high tide and low tide, you're talking about these things being measured by numbers. They measure the height, they measure the width of the tide in order for you to know if it's low or high or not. So you'll get to understand that frequency, sound, color, all these things are measured in waves. So even the red that you're seeing, the yellow that you're seeing, the blue that you're seeing, the oranges that you're seeing are frequencies to certain areas in your mind. And the red color is for the basic survival mode. So you got McDonald's and you got Chick-fil-A because they're your basic survival. That's fast food colors. Okay. You got some people that's promoting yellows and oranges, letting you know that yellow and orange is for your gut. You got the honey pack. The honey pack, what color is honey? Letting you know that's for your reproductive system. Well, that's the second chakra. It's the root is red. The next one is the yellow or the orange, whatever you want to call it, right? So you have these different things that are promoting to you frequencies. And these frequencies are speaking to you in wavelengths, in numbers. And the biggest thing that you got on you that says something. So what I'm trying to say is that numbers is a language. Okay, the rainbow is saying something. The sun is saying something. Your body language is saying something. You being all flustered and you getting all red in the cheeks. Red in the cheeks means something. You ain't said nothing, but it says something. So we know then that numbers is a language. Okay, numbers is a language. All right, and there's a lot of things being said in your birthday. But because you have been put into this paradigm, not understanding the language of numbers, then you don't understand how to tell time. Telling time ain't the time that I'm talking about on your watch. Okay? Now I'm gonna say this one more time, but I'm gonna let y'all come on and fold on into the room. Come on into the room. Come on into the room. I don't like to talk to just a couple of folks. So come on into the room. Go tell somebody. Go tell somebody. Okay, because when we talking, all right? But we don't like to deal with folk who don't understand about timekeeping or the timekeepers. So what this is that you're seeing is a timekeeping tool. A timekeeping tool, a timekeeping resource. What I am is a timekeeper. There ain't no timekeeper without the tool. So we have a timekeeping tool and we have the timekeeper. That's what we're bringing to the paradigm. That's what we're bringing to social media. That's what I am suggesting to you today, that there is a way based on your birthday to get the rundown on you. And I mean herbal rundown, the food rundown, nutrition, dietary rundown, the life rundown, the GPS. I know how to track your ass, all that type of stuff. We know how to do with this. And you get all of this with your owner's manual for your funky measly $50. All right. With that being said, now what happens is that because things are going into a wave, okay, you keep tapping, you guys, I'll keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. You keep tapping, I'll keep talking, and we're going to do a few of you guys today, so don't worry about it. I will get to you guys today and start to do everything. All right. So what happens is because things are going on a wave, and what you don't understand is what I've been trying to teach you, but because you still don't understand it, you got to tune in every day. So that's fine. You came to the right teacher. You came on the right day. We're gonna make sure that May them and May mama them and May grandmama them still can get help, even if they ain't got Medicare, Medicaid, or insurance. There's still life is important. And nature will facilitate all of our health, no matter the riches that you have. The poor man needs to know that health is free, and the rich man needs to know that health is free. Does it require a lifestyle change? Anytime that you're sick, that requires that anyway. All right. So what happens is understanding that life is under this wave frequency, under this wave motion, under this wave type of currency, this wave type of reciprocation, this wave type of effect, this wave type of order of business, right? So once I start to understand how you do shit, like if I keep coming to work every day and as a boss, you keep doing the same stuff, I start to get your ass after a minute. I start to realize boss take a break at 1:30, he go drink a bill, smoke a cigarette. I start to get on your ass now. I start to observe what you're doing here, boss, because I start to see your waves of motion. Your waves of motion is your waves of motion in life. And even though you may not tell me all of your inner thoughts, it is your actions that allow me to have some kind of inside scoop into your mind, because the only way anybody will ever get into the inside of you is to observe the outside of you. So it's only that I watch you and know how you are moving and acting that I see that that's in your body language, that that's in your talk, that that's in your demeanor, that that's in your aura. Look, you ain't said nothing yet, but I can still see something is wrong. Something is good about you. Something is glowing in you. Something is showing in you, and you ain't spoke a word yet, because we understand that language can be received and given without speaking. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is that if there's a such thing as body language, there's a such thing as language being in numbers as well. Numbers speak. And if you know anything about what I'm speaking to you about, then you can go all the way back to history about a brother who wrote about the Shabaka stone. And then the Shabaka stone, all he did was did math. All he did was did math. He wanted you to understand three different things. That God's word and the Big Bang theory and all this other stuff all was connected together through the wave pattern. Life is a wave. Santos Bonacci told you about the wave. The author of the Shabaka Stone told you about the wave. We've been talking about energy and vibing and vibrations and frequency all this time, but for some reason you still don't know how to tune in. For some reason you still don't know how to channel in, and for some reason you still don't know how to get in tune and get in season, and for some reason you still don't know how to capitalize on the opportunity because you don't know how to ride the wave. You don't know where you at. You don't know how to do the swim. You don't know how to swim. See, in this wave effect of life, saying that this is the currency. See, when you're in the ocean, they tell you about the currents. And currents is the root word of currency. It's the way things flow. Money flow. Money flow is the wave. I used to be a trader, and I used to do foreign, what they call Forex. And it's about understanding the high tide and the low tide, the bear and the bull. You got to understand the trend. You got to understand how to ride the wave. And some of you guys have been sick for a minute and you didn't stop it. Some of you guys know that you've been drinking too much, smoking too much. You know you've been eating too much, but you can't stop the train because you don't know how to ride that wave. Anytime that there is a fluster or a flood of emotion that comes into your life, that is the best time for you to rest. That's when you got to rest. You got to relax. So what's happening is that you're getting flooded with emotions. Okay? What's happening is that you're getting flooded with emotions. Emotions are going to put things into your bloodstream, which is going to affect your fluids in the body, this is the waves. So the frequency, the wave of life, planetary, me and you talking, you and your co-worker, you and your spouse, you and your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your auntie, whoever it is, are creating waves. You and the animals, you and the birds, you and whatever it is out here in organic land are creating waves, currency, language. But you got to know how to ride the wave of what that language is. That's what you call basic instinct. How do you know when the cheetah gonna come after you, or the lion, or the bear? You got to feel the air. You got to feel the room. It's to understand how to ride the wave. This ain't talking about matching energy with energy. This is talking about how do you understand how to do this, because the reality of it is that the whole ingredient, or I would say the whole recipe, right? The whole recipe to this is to do the opposite of what the situation involves. So if I got a high tide, it's for me to understand my low tideness. And if I got a low tide, it's for me to understand my high tideness. And if I got a this and that. So it's all about the opposites of what the opportunity or the situation presents. If you want to fight, then I want to flight. If you want to flight, then I might want to fight. That's my prime. If you want to run, I'll come get your ass in. If you want to come get me, I might run away from you. It just all depends on what it is that we want to do to decide on what it is that we need to do. So what's happening is we're deciding opposite of what the situation is saying. So a lot of you guys that got cancer, diabetes, dialysis, blood pressure issues, autoimmune diseases, what's happening is that you are not making a decision that's opposite of your scenario. And I'm giving you nuggets in this shit so y'all can see, so that if TikTok shut me off now, it's okay. I said it. If YouTube fall out right now, I gave it to you. It don't really matter. So we're going to do it early on. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM me. We'll get you the information that you need. But this is life-altering information. This is life-changing information. If you are sick and tired of modern healthcare system, if you're sick and tired of the pharmaceutical companies, then guess what? They just now met their nemesis. There is a complete system that has already been discovered in nature that can facilitate you on all levels, and I mean all 4 levels, including the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. But what's happening is that a lot of stuff you are being flooded with, and you're not at your most high state during a flood. When you're not at your most high state during a flood, what's going to happen? If you're riding around the shores of life, if you're walking around the beach of life, if you're around here looking for seashells and goddamn pennies on the beach, and you don't forgot that these folks said it's high tide, what's going to happen? So you don't know that in some essence of life that there is a flood happening in your life emotionally, and therefore you're not at high tide to facilitate the emotions. So you get caught in the moment of the emotions, and what those emotions do is they separate you into time zones. They warp you. And what happens is you don't understand about time warp. There is a such thing as being out of body. You know how many folks that's right now listening to me right now with their body in their car, their body in their office, their body in their house, but their mind is far away from what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Keep tapping the screen, you guys. Let's get us up to 100K. Do you know how possible it is to be your body to be right there at what I said, but your mind to be far away from listening to me, far away from listening to the TV, the newsman? You listening to me instead of the news, but you got the TV on. You listen to the radio instead of me or the news, but you got me on, the news on, and the radio. But how the hell you listen to the radio? Because you can be tuned in to a certain thing that's gonna, and what's happening is this little split where your body is one place but your mind is somewhere else is the problem. This is how your mind victimizes your body. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back of the room. This is how your mind victimizes your body. The reason why your mind will victimize your body, because when your mind time warp into yesterday when it's supposed to be in today, or when it time warps into tomorrow when it's supposed to be in today, what happens is you leave the body unoccupied, you leave the body unfacilitated, you leave the body insecure. And this is how the body get victim. So when you are reincarnated, when you are rebirthed, when you come back into this paradigm, if you don't understand about how to keep the mind and the body together, how to keep the balance, if you don't understand how to keep Adam and Eve from fussing and fighting, from disagreeing, from divorce, if you don't understand how to keep these things from happening, then that's the reason why you don't understand your power right now. See, you don't understand that the purpose is to keep Adam and Eve together. They're going to go through hell. They're going to go through poor. They're going to go through rich. They're going to go through women. They're going to go through men. They're going to go through famine. They're going to go through food. They're gonna go through everything together. But the point is, can they stay together? Can a motherfucker get so rich that he can still stay with Adam? Can a motherfucker get so many women that they can still stay with Eve? Can a summer bitch get so poor that they can still stay together? Can you have so many kids that you'll still stay together? Can you don't have kids at all and still stay together? Can you get sick and still stay together? Can you be healed and still stay together? Can you be the best at something and still stay together? Can you be the worst at something and still stay together? Can you be dumber than a motherfucker at a thing and still stay together? And can you be smart than a summer bitch at a thing and still stay together? See, the point is, can she lead and you can still stay with her? And can he lead and can you still stay with him? And so the point and the purpose of this whole thing is, can you keep the mind and the body together? And because you don't leave out of this paradigm with, because you know what? I was just finna say that, but let me stop. You will not leave out of this paradigm once you learn this lesson. Now, what I'm teaching you is in your health how to do this. But it is the health of the consciousness of the person that is just as important as the health of the body of the individual. So therefore, I understood that there is no way that I could teach you about health without teaching you about wealth in the same dynamic. There is no way that I could be your preacher and not be your doctor. There was no way that I could be your doctor and not be your preacher. There was no way that I could come to you and half-ass you and break you down and only work on your foot when it's your mind, and only only work on your hands when it's your mind, and only work on your brain when it's your mind, but only work on your cancer when it's your mind, and only work on your blood when it's your mind. See, so I realized that I can't half-ass my people. So then you got a bunch of people that are in the past dealing with depression. A bunch of people that are in the future dealing with anxiety. Right? But in your present state, you're unstable. In your present state, you're unstable. Mentally, spiritually, physically, or emotionally, you're unstable in your present state because you are living on yesterday, or you're allowing yesterday to facilitate your today, or you're allowing tomorrow to facilitate your day. Therefore, today, you are unstable. I've been trying to talk to you, good. You ain't even you got them so far gone from what I'm trying to tell you. You ain't even listening to me. You know why? Because my brain is about yesterday, the last 5 minutes, the last hour, 4 hours ago, or it's about tomorrow, next week. This, so you don't enjoy today. Now, here's the thing. Without you understanding this, if I can keep you in this state of imbalance, okay, how do I do that? How do I do that? Before you eat steak, and before you eat potatoes, and before you eating tater chips, and before you eat Snicker bar, okay? So, because y'all keep blaming it on the food. But I'm here to tell you that the balance is not in the food, but it's in the feelings and the thought life. So I could just stress you with these decisions, stress you with these traumas, stress you with these stimuli. Every day I can stress you with this stimuli of things happening to you to where you can't focus on the moment because you focus on the stimuli that happened that caused the trauma. So if I keep you out of balance using your stress hormones, which is in your endocrine system, which is a part of your water system, which is a part of this balancing of the waters. Kidney issues. Kidney issues is a direct understanding of the balance of the waters. Remember, we deal in waves. So dialysis shows us how good you at the wave, and your ass ain't that good. High blood pressure, that means that something is happening to the waters. There's a high pressure in your waters, the waves. High blood sugar is meaning that there's high sugar in your blood, blood meaning the waters. So there's something affecting the waters, the waves. Cancer means something got into your blood. So therefore, there is a accelerated growth of cell growth that is uncontrollable. Nobody can stop the cells just growing everywhere, alwhere. But that's in your blood. That's something affecting your waters, the waves. So when the waters get out of balance, it can brew up, and it can be an incubator to different microorganisms and different bacteria and different parasites and different shit, the creatures you ain't never thought about, because you've changed the temperature and the fluid, and you changed it to a dynamic in which fungus can grow in which other kind of parasitic things can grow, because your waters and your temperature within you ain't right. But it's a lot to do with the spiritual implications of your waters and your life outside of you. As above, so below, as within, so without. So when you get this turbulence within you, understand that this is a microcosm of the turbulence outside of you. So when you get this turbulence in the waters and you don't know how to swim, when you get this turbulence in the waters and you don't know how to rest. See, the biggest thing for most of us is that when we are granted our most high state, when we are granted our most spiritual state of being, I'm gonna tell you what the real problem is in the most of us. When we are afforded this opportunity to even get into contact, to even get into initiation with this high self, with this high tide, with this highest mind, with this spiritual essence, with this spiritual sensitivity, with this spiritual consciousness. Will we even get the opportunity to do it? You know what we do? We're trying to swim through that motherfucker. We're trying to physically endure, physically show our performance in the time where we should be resting in the bosom, resting in the contentment, resting in the peace of a wave that's coming into the life. See, there's certain parts of this dynamic that nature says, yeah, I'll let you try. But then there's other parts of this where it say, mama gonna take care of you. But what it is that you've been taught that ain't nobody got you but you. And you don't know how to rest. And that's keeping you unstable. And you cannot conjugate up the power to heal yourself. The power that must come from your rudimentary chakra, which is your root chakra, your rudimentary. You were born out of the root. The path back home is north. You was conceived out of the mind. When your mama and your daddy met each other, they thought in their mind that they liked each other, that they were going to have intercourse with each other unprotected. That all was in their mind. They might have didn't tell each other. They might have didn't tell you. When your mama and your daddy met each other, they had a thought in their mind that they liked each other, that they were going to sleep with each other, and ended up intercoursing with each other without protection. Mama knew he didn't have nothing on, and he knew he didn't have nothing on, and they knew that they both of them know it's a possibility, but they don't know it's a reality. But they still mingle into that situation, knowing the situation, but still hoping that it didn't do it, but still hoping that it did do it, because I just won't like him like that. So you was conceived here in the mind before you was conceived out from the spine. You was a thought of intimacy before you was a thought of a baby. You was a thought of intercourse. You was a thought in the mind. Damn, she's beautiful. Damn, this feel good. Damn, this is a great night. Damn, this nigga was fire. Damn, this was good. And it didn't care nothing about him being fresh out of prison, in prison. It didn't care nothing about him being never in prison. It didn't care nothing about him being fresh out of college or in college or fresh out of high school or in the locker room. It didn't care nothing about that, because it was conceived in the mind first that the idea of being with this person was the baby. The idea of being with the person was the baby. But then what happened is, once I got with the person that I really wanted to be with, I had a baby, but the baby actually was in the mind, not saying that I wanted to have a baby by the woman when I had the woman, but what I was saying was that the woman was my baby. Oh, I had found my baby and she had found her baby, and next thing you know, we went in there talking about, boy, we was babying together and fucked around and had one come out here. So the baby was here in the mind first, came out of the root canal, and got to make it back to the home. Back to the home is back to the dome. Your original creation is in the mind. Your original creation, human species, was in the mind. Because there are two wombs on the body, one here and one here. And what you got to learn how to do is balance the wombs of both. The creation from here and the creation from here. Some of you women think that all you are good for is what you create here. But reality is that Adam is the body, Eve was the mind. So what you should be doing is trying to find you a physically fit man. But what a man should be doing is trying to find a mentally fit woman. See, because what the woman brings into the paradigm is this automatically going to create if it functioning properly. But what you want, my dude, what you want, my man, I was finna say my nigga, y'all know I was finna say that. But what you want, my man, is you want her to be able to, this already going to work if it's, because it's an organ. Long as the organ got a good function, that's going to work. What you looking for in your queen is, does this work? Can she create from here? Can she have a baby here? And woman, what you look for in a man is he physically fit to endure the idea that I want to birth? The man is the body. You look at a man for his body. You look at a woman for a mind. You got men out here looking for women for their body, and women out here looking for men for their mind. Your ass backwards because you don't know how to balance this situation. So now you spend so many days and weeks and months with your mind not being in the same place as your present body. So this is what causes the disconnect between the travel from south to north, the travel from trauma back onto the throne. You know, there's a way, there's a pathway from trauma, from drama. There's a pathway to the higher understanding and consciousness, which is this way, which we're teaching you in your owner's manual for your funky measly $50. So you're starting to get the understanding in the palm of your hands. See, it's one thing for me to know this information, but it's another thing for us to be able to give it to you. We want to be able to educate you on your health so that you can be more fervent in how to move forward. And what I'm telling you to do is that you need to go back to nature if you don't trust the modern medical facility. If you trust your doctor, keep fucking with him. But you won't live to 120 or nor will you have everlasting life. What we are showing you is your way back into understanding what everlasting life looks like, feels like, and the illustration of what that looks like. This is the infinity sign. When you make it back to 120, you would have just did one full sun ecliptic. But you say every birthday you do that. No, every year, oh, hell no. It happens in a year, but it also happens in a lifetime. We're trying to get you to do a full circle lifetime-wise, which means you got to go through these 12 lessons. And these 12 lessons is going to give you 2 choices to make. And you got to figure out what the right choice is going to be with each lesson. And that's what we're teaching here. Okay? That's what you're getting in your owner's manual. Anybody got any questions thus far? What's going on, you guys? We're coming live from YouTube and TikTok. I appreciate all of you guys. So now, if you got your mind in the past and your body's in the present, if you got your mind in the future and your body's in the present, can't we see how difficult it is to conjugate up the right kundalini, the right chi, the right energy, the right meditative force, the right prayerful energy that's needed to get my prayer up to God? I can't do that if my mind and my body are in 2 different places. So what happens is when the mind leaves the body in the present moment, and it does this all the time, what happens is that means that you are very vulnerable to your fleshly indulgence, your fleshly habits. When your mind leaves your body, nothing can stop you from smoking. When your mind leaves your body, nothing can stop you from drinking. When your mind leaves your body, nothing can stop you from eating. When your mind leaves your body, nothing can stop you from the medications and all of the temptations and the addictions that come into it. When your mind ain't present with your body, nothing can stop you. You don't have nothing present to compose, to hold in opposition to that which is being introduced. When your mind ain't with your body, I can get you drunker than a son bitch. When your mind ain't with your body, I can get you higher than a motherfucker. When your mind ain't with your body, I can get you to do sexual experience. When your mind ain't with your body. And so what I'm telling you is that when you get reincarnated, when you get in rebirth, or when you out here lost than a motherfucker, you realize that a lost state is when the mind ain't with the body. Oh! Yes, sir. I'm sorry, baby. I love you. I'm sorry. You realize that that is the state of confusion. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking, y'all. Y'all good back up. I ain't being scared. You realize that this is the cause of mental illness, cognitive health functionalities, physical health despair. Is because you're not properly in, because you're being time warped. You're being warped into times, into 2 different times of life. So you can't get out of the past, or you either can't get out of the future, or you're dealing with both of these and you cannot handle your present state. So now you're sick, but you can't control the mind well enough to activate this hit. I've been teaching self-healing for a long time, for years. And I have never, ever not taught you guys that the mind is the precipice of your diseases. That you have spiritual issues that must get taken care of. If you listen to me, I just explained all of that. Spiritual issues mean emotional issues. Emotional issues are being brought about due to just the experience. That's the human experience itself with white folk, black folk, and other folk, and being capitalism and having to have some money and gotta work and gotta learn and gotta go to school, gotta have some clothes, and I gotta have something to eat, and I gotta do this and I gotta do that to live. So guess what? You're under the stressors. But sometimes what I'm telling you is that under this particular paradigm, because here's the thing, your parents didn't ask to come here just like you didn't. So you can't blame your mom and dad and them for teaching you this. You can't blame the school system for not teaching you this. You can't blame the doctors for not exposing you to this. You can't blame the pastors for not exposing you to this. You can't blame the government for not exposing you to this, because in essence, you're trying to say that there was a people that knew about this before you and kept this from you. And what I'm saying is the folk that kept it from you need to know it too. So ain't nobody doing nothing to nobody but trying to figure this thing out. So we've already factually and scientifically understood that things are happening to us in waves, which is the waters. And these waves of frequencies are happening outside of us that are having an intricate influence on the inside waters. And my job is to keep my waters balanced. So you heard of a thing called pH balance. The funny thing is, when I used to work for the hotel business, in order for, used to have to, in order for you to be a chief engineer, now you had to be able to be a certified pool operator, which means that I had to be able to sustain pH in the jacuzzi, in the hot tub, in the pool at the hotel. And it didn't care if you was chlorine pool or saltwater pool. You got to know how to maintain that balance. And I realized that it was times that when the waters got too acidic, you had to be careful with the acid, because the acid would corrode the particular material that the pool was actually made out of. So you'll start seeing the metal corrode and the plastic corrode and the actual pool paint and all this stuff will corrode if the pool get too acidic. So you can't let the pool get too acidic. It'll affect the environment of the pool and everything around the pool, right? So when it got too acidic, we'll throw some baking soda, what they call bicarbonate. That's what they call it, bicarbonate. Bicarbonate wasn't nothing but baking soda. Okay, so when my waters get too acidic, I throw baking soda in the pool water for TikTok purposes. Talking about how to maintain your pool water. TikTok and YouTube. But I'm telling you about something deeper. And then I realized that alkalosis was a problem too. So you didn't want to get your pool that couldn't get too alkaline either, because then you got algae in the motherfucker. You got green algae, blue algae, red algae, all kind of shit growing in your pool because it done got too alkaline. So shit grow in an alkaline situation, and shit'll burn your ass and eat your ass up in the acidic. Look here now. I'm telling you about pool, but I'm telling you about you. So I learned very quickly that when you're too alkaline, that's too much room for growth in the water. So you'll see a lot of people, they're preaching you to get too alkaline. Watch yourself. My people who are listening to me, watch yourself, okay? Understand what I'm teaching you today. If you get too alkaline, growth will happen in your pool water. If you get too acidic, corrosion will happen in your pool's water. Now we got to look at how to balance life so that my life don't create too much acidity within me. Now, how do I create acidity within you? That ain't just food and water. I can create acidity in you by making you angry, by frustrating you, by disappointing you, by making you sad, by hurting you. by hating you. I can make you sad. I can make the acidic waters flame up by putting these particular stresses of emotions on you. Your emotions. Way before you eat and drink anything, I can kill you by stressing you under the paradigm in which you live in. So it is when we change the understanding of the human frame and human design in which this life is presenting for you to get some peace and contentment to keep this at balance. Look, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. For most of us, it's going to be impossible for us to live everlasting and live forever and live to 120 years old, because for most of us, you didn't get what I just said. In order for you to be able to really do this, man, you got to get back into a spiritual relationship with nature. You got to find contentment in going and getting your own water at the water hole, at the well, at the natural spring in your neighborhood. You got to get some kind of contentment, some kind of day off, some kind of lifestyle to where it's okay to grow your own food. You got to create some kind of society to where it's okay to live and go to bed during the sunlight. Then when the sun go down, that's bedtime. When the sun come up, that's daytime. With no artificial light, no light bulb. You got to be okay. You got to change your society to where it's okay to be able to get good air, get out of the building and walk around the building, and have the work hour and the work week facilitate me getting out there and embracing nature-based interventions. I think every job on the planet, if you're looking for a wellness program, allow your people, and this is for real. If you are in human resources, or if you are a business owner and you're a corporate structure and you just happen to be watching me right now, look, man, take the wellness program to nature-based interventions, and at least the first 10 minutes of the particular business, nobody can work. Everybody will be on the clock, but nobody can work. Make 10 minutes be nothing but health. Let them do Tai Chi. Let them exercise. Let them walk around the parking lot. Have security out there if need be. Facilitate being in nature and get your ass out of my building. I need for every employee to get out of my building. We'll wheel you out. We got wheelchair access. We're going to wheel your ass up out of here. We'll walk you out. We'll guide you out. But everybody in the building need to get the fuck up out the building some point time during your workday. And this ain't no lunch break. This is a wellness break. This ain't no smoke break. This ain't no lunch break, no water break. This is a wellness break. And start to get people to understand the value of taking time out in the nature and resting. And you'll start to see the productivity come to life. You think that playing the radio gonna make them jokers work? Let them goddamn be outside. And boy, you ain't never seen a black person work until you see one outside with the music. But you put black folk outside with that music, boy, you might be them motherfucker build a house for you, and you didn't never even know they were tired, cause they be whistling while they work, whistling while you work. And as long as you give them something to eat and feed them, and we outside and we chilling and we working together, we're going to get the job done, baby. But we got to do it feeling good. Productivity has to be done feeling well, feeling good. It's something about outside. It's something about being able to know I ain't locked up and locked down and blocked in and blocked up and in the cubicle. You got me in the cube, calling it a cubicle. You got me stuffed up and you got me blocked in. You give me too cold on it. Come on, man, with all this AC and IC and OC. So you got to be able to balance these things within you. Okay? Now, the biggest question I want to ask you guys real quick. You got us up to 50K, so we at 50K. We almost got another hour to go, so it looked like we're on the right pace. But in these next 10 minutes, I want to ask you guys a question, and then we're going to move forward, all right? The biggest question I want to ask you guys is, how many of you feel like you're in that space? You're in that depressive or that anxiety space? How many of you feel like your mind just continues to just not be able to facilitate the present moment? Put some ones in the chat, man. Let's talk about it. Put some ones in the chat. Because The reality of it, guys, is that the owner's manual won't work for you if we can't figure this part out for you. Now, you can still get your owner's manual, because once we do figure this out, now you have your roadmap to your health. But at the end of the day, until we get this really down pat, we can't get you to activate the power. Until we got to clear these obstructions. You too far left or you too far right when the position is supposed to be in the balance. Okay, so I got a lot of ones on YouTube. I got some ones on TikTok. So here's the thing. The reason why you're in a depressive or anxiety state, it ain't even about the reason why. We can discover the reason why if you give me your birthday. But what I'm trying to say is forget the reason why. There is a reason why. But what I'm saying to you is look how vulnerable you're leaving your body in the present moment. Look how vulnerable you are. Look how unstable, look how easily irritated you are in the present moment. I told you there's a lot of people in their highest state and they don't know it. To me, this is the worst place to be in, but y'all looking at me think that it's the best place. Because, oh, he telling me I'm in my spiritual, but really it's the worst place to be, because when you're in this place and you don't know what the fuck you should be doing, this is the worst place to be when you don't know. See, we built to come in and use the body. So if I'm in my physical and don't know the spiritual, I can still make it with the physical. But boy, when I'm in my spiritual and don't know it's spiritual and I'm trying to use my body, that shit don't be working. So this become a hard time of life. The most high time, the flood, can be the hardest time if you're trying to live and reside in a high tide. If you're trying to find gold in this world in a high tide, if you're trying to find your shells and cheese in a high tide, if you're trying to find your gold and your silver and your money in the high tide, you're trying to find the yellow brick road during the high tide, you're trying to find the way home during the high tide, you're trying to find the pathway during the high tide, you're trying to find the healing during the high tide, you meaning that you are lost and confused and you think that you finna find the trail during the high tide. Everybody know, anybody would tell you that you can't find shit during the high tide. You got to wait till the, but this could be the worst time, because again, even here, if you don't know that this is the physical time, you will still get through this because all you got is body. But here, you don't know that it's spiritual time, so you continue to try to use that body that you got, and that's what's going to run that body down, and that's why all of us don't make it to everlasting life, because we don't know nothing about body preservation. This particular system that we're under gets us under tremendous stress, not only emotionally, internally, but then oxidative stress outside of us, and we're not eating enough antioxidant food. We don't know enough about antioxidants. We haven't understanding the real reason why we tell you to sleep or meditate or rest ain't for your motherfucking ass to sit here and pass away time. But the real reason why we tell you to rest and meditate is because that's how you initiate the biggest antioxidant that you got in your body, which is melatonin. So I'm not telling you to rest and sleep, to rest away this shit. We're telling you to do that. We're telling you that within peace and contentment is a mechanism that you're producing that's going to keep you from anti-aging, which means that you're going to live. Man, hey, I'm through. You doing it, baby? Yes, sir. I see. Look good. Hello, Wilson. I'm still alive. You see? So what I'm trying to get you to see is that we're not telling you to rest away your life and lay down. We're not telling you to just sleep and just sleep all day. We're not telling you to just meditate and try to figure out how to lose your thoughts. It ain't about that. It's about sleep, meditation, and rest activating something within you called melatonin, which is your most antioxidant substance that you have, that for some reason it comes in rest. It comes in contentment. It comes in peace. It comes when everything is okay. It comes when you're in your deepest contentment, the deepest rest, and the deepest vulnerability that you could be in this time and experience. Unfortunately, the most healing substance that you can produce to heal you of your cancer, diabetes, AIDS, HIV, every disease you got, it comes in rest, y'all. It comes in the rest of your mind and in the rest of your body. I'm sorry, but what I'm trying to get you to do is I'm trying to get you to produce something inside of you that comes from contentment and peace with nature. And you ain't content and at peace with the doctor's diagnosis. Told you you got AIDS, you started trying to fight it. Told you you got HIV, you started trying to fight it. Because you ain't at peace. You can't rest on that diagnosis. You can't sleep on that diagnosis. You can't stop your mind from going from death to life because of that diagnosis. But there is something that you can do. It's called nature-based intervention. When you get out here in nature, when you get really content with what God is doing in your life, aka what nature is doing in your life, then what we're saying is that in that contentment, in that peace, in that sovereignty, in that relaxation, in the resting of the bosom is a mechanism that's being produced inside of you, a chemical that's going to heal you. That's really what I'm trying to teach y'all today. That's what I really been trying to teach you. The balancing act is one thing. But if you really want to know what that balancing act is, it's contentment, it's peace. The peace is being centered. Okay? The peace is being centered. Another word for peace is center, is balance, is contentment. It's being in this state of contentment, this state of peace, this state of no want, no need, no desire, this state of no attachment. See, if I get attached to something, then that's going to cause for suffering because I'm going to want something more than what I should. There's a balance. I'm going to be too consumptive, too addictive. See, nature knows what your Achilles heel is. Your Achilles heel is that you get addictive with things you like. Everybody like different things. Some folks like sex, some folks like drugs, some folks like alcohol, some folks like to smoke. Man, some folks like to fucking eat, bro. It don't look, look, your shit is your shit, my shit is my shit, but we still got some shit because at the end of the day, it's not what we are addictive in, it's about the addictive behavior in itself. Nobody gives a damn what category you addictive in. We're trying to fight the addictions. Why am I addictive? Why can't I stop not stop eating this bacon, eggs, and potatoes? Why can't I not stop looking at this website? Why can't I not do this and do that, right? So it's about the addictive behavior. So we got to get back to some humanality so that we can commonality, so that we can let everybody know that's watching me and listening to me that I fucking know you. And I want you to know me. I'm going through the same thing you is. But there's a blueprint for escape out of the maze, out of the matrix. I ain't never been content. Can't be content when they told me about poverty, and when they told me about poverty, then they made me look at a category, and then I feel like I'm in that category, so I can't be content with me being poor. Well, I said poor is a state of mind, but you looking at it as poor being is a class, middle class, upper class. So they've classified us or categorized us, and then you put me in a category, and then I'm identified by the qualifications of being in that category. Then that makes me be stressed the fuck out, be depressed, be anxious, be stressed out about trying to be something more because you got me in the bottom feed. There's no contentment. There's no peace. There's no balance. And unfortunately, you cannot hear yourself if you don't fix the connection. Somebody please ask me the connection between what? Somebody please ask me that. It would just tickle my fancy if somebody could. The connection between what, HerbMan? You can't. There's no way that you can get power to the cord with a crimp in it. There's no way that you can get power to the cord with a crimp in it. I can't get power to your kidneys with a crimp in the way your mind operates with your body. I can't get power to your cancer or your tumor if there's a crimp in the connection between the mind and the body. So the connection between what is between the mind and the body. So if I keep you out of the present moment, right? Remember, this is depression, anxiety. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a strategy. Okay, this is a strategy. This ain't nothing new. First of all, if I keep you like this, you'll keep coming back into the paradigm, reincarnated, rebirth, but I'll keep you from ever getting in tune with nature. I keep you from ever figuring it out. You'll never remember, right? Because I'm keeping you out of the present moment. Long as you're out of the present moment, you can never realize that you've been here before. Never realize that this is heaven. Never realize that you got healing. Never realize that you are already rich. You never realize that it's already abundance. You never realize that it's already is working in your favor. You never realize that you are already good as hell. Look here, I just told you that your mom and daddy them didn't even ask to be here. You didn't ask to be here. They mom and daddy didn't ask to be here. But guess what? We here, and this experience has been abundant. The abundance of opportunities that it will give you to do whatever you need to do. If you want to eat an animal, some animals gonna walk past you. If you want to eat some plants, you're gonna walk past some plants. You didn't ask to come here, but this experience is giving you an abundance of opportunity to be able to be here. But if you out of body, your mind is time warped into yesterday or tomorrow. Your mind gets time warped into yesterday or tomorrow. This could mean the last few years. This could mean the next few years. This could mean yesterday. This could mean tomorrow. This could mean the last couple of months. This could mean the next couple of months. But your mind gets time warped. So when you come back reincarnated, back rebirthed into the paradigm of this experience, you can't remember because you are time warped. Your mind is either forced. So you ever seen some children that you would be like, oh, that's the ancestors, or that child right there before their time, or that brother right there, premature, baby came in with a dysfunction and all that. So we got babies, we got people that will come in before their time, and we got people that will come in behind the time. And the body will show you where the mind is at. The more unstable you see a person is in the present moment is the more that they are out of tune, out of body, because their mind is time warped. And so guess what? What I'm saying is there is no power that we can conjugate up in the Kundalini. There's no chi, there's no ba or no ka, there's no spirit, there's no glory, no Shekinah, there is no crystal oil, there's no nothing that you've been dreaming or thinking about or reading about. There's nothing that's going to be able to get this connection when you ain't connected with the mind and the body. So this won't work for you until we teach you about this. And that's the importance of tuning in to the HerbMan show every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what we're teaching you, so that you don't keep on out of your ignorance creating industry, all that money you spending on medication, all that money you spending on insurance, and your ass still gonna leave away from here earlier than what you're supposed to. If I told you you're supposed to live to everlasting life, why would you accept 60 years old? Why would you accept 75 years old? Why are you accepting 35 years old? Why are you accepting 85 years old? Why are you accepting 90 and 100 years old if a man told you you're supposed to live forever? Why we are accepting aging out is because we don't know the cure to not aging out. And the cure to not aging out is an anti-aging opportunity and experience that you got to have here. And an anti-aging opportunity and experience you got to have here is an experience of contentment and peace within nature and God. And that is actually the characteristics that would be quantified to be in heaven. You can't be in heaven if you ain't peaceful, if you ain't content. You can't be in heaven with no wants, needs, and desires. You're still trying to be somebody. You're still trying to do something. You're still trying to go somewhere. You're still trying to do something. And see, that because you won't sit your motherfucking ass down, that you're running down the body because you don't understand body preservation and pacing. You don't understand this other part of this paradigm. I can't help you if you don't help yourself. And the helping yourself is in the education of the reason why you're here. You cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. Keep tapping the screen, you guys. I'll keep talking. You keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Okay? There's no way for us to do this, but there is a way. And what I mean by that is people keep asking me, is this possible? Yes. Hell yeah, it's possible. Hell yes, it's doable. And hell yes, it's credible. They've already done the research and said that 93% of nature-based interventions improve mental illness. And that's what this is. A mental illness is when your mind keeps separating itself from the body, leaving the body vulnerable to your addictive and habitual behaviors. And golly, can y'all hear that? Just that right there, you can snapshot that and post that. Mental illness is when your mind keep leaving your body vulnerable to your addictions and your habitual ways. Because without your mind being able to think about what you're thinking about, there is no stopping the body. The body will not stop eating. The body won't stop fucking. The body won't stop drinking. The body won't stop shooting up drugs. The body won't stop doing nothing because those things are pleasurable to the body. So what the Bible been teaching you in the Imam and the Quran and the Jews and the people been trying to teach you about this dynamic, but you got to understand that the flesh won't stop unless the mind gets some control, and the control is over in the right side. So when you're headed north, when you're headed home, when you're headed north, when you're headed home, remember I started this out by saying you were born out of the root chakra of mama. You was born out of the bottom of mama. You came out of the south portal, but you know that you came from the north portal. So before you was a sperm, you was an ideal. Mama was the baby. Mama was the love. Daddy was the baby. Daddy was the love before mama and daddy had a baby that they loved. So you came out of the south needing to get back to your most highest state, which is meaning your most highest consciousness, which means that you needed to be, you came out of this, you came from this womb to this womb. You need to go back to this womb, but you need to understand this transition. So to go back north, headed back north, which way home is? North. Which way home is? North. North is the most high state. North is where Santa Claus sit. North is where God and Jesus sit. That north, if you turn the word north around, you'll see throne. North is the throne, the pineal gland, the most high consciousness, the most high state is north. Anytime I'm traveling north, then the east, the Garden of Eden, the feminine energy, the healing, and all of this stuff that we've been talking about, it sits in the east. It says that the Garden of Eden sits in the east of the garden. Okay, so when I'm traveling north, when I'm traveling back home, then we understand that the east is on the right side. I understand that my east is my right hand. I understand that my east is on the right brain. And so that I understand that east is on the right brain, and I understand that the right brain is feminine energy, but I understand that feminine energy is my most highest consciousness, my intuitive state, my magnetic state. I understand that this is where my healing state is at. But again, if you don't understand, my friend, this could be the most dangerous state that you could be in. So a lot of you guys are on the east. A lot of you guys are in your healing, your spiritual time. A lot of you guys are in your unction, and a lot of you guys are in your imagination and creativity and dream state, but you don't know it. So you can't capitalize off of it. And the owner's manual will help you do that. For a funky, measly $50, we can help you get back into balance with nature. This gives you herbs. It gives you the foods. It gives you the diet. It gives you the activities that you need to involve yourself with, all for a funky, measly $50. If you're interested, please DM us. We'll get you the information that's needed. Okay? So, being in these consciousness and not being centered makes it impossible for some of these issues to change. Okay? It makes it impossible for some of these issues to change. And some of you guys have a hard time with being able to be in the present moment, in the present state. So when we're trying to get you to meditate or rest or sleep, it's very hard for you to do that with a cancer diagnosis, with that type of scare, that type of, oh, what happens if I get off my medications? What happens if I don't do this? What happens if I don't do what the doctors say? What happened? And so there is no contentment. There can't be peace in that mind. There can't be peace and rest in that body. Because of what you have been through and experienced. And so, therefore, this is very difficult for people that's in the last stages of life, is to be able to find rest and consolidation and contentment in nature. To just come as you are to nature. So what I try to get people to understand, even in their feeble and debilitated state, is that we can't ask for the weakness of a physical body to automatically just all of a sudden get strong enough to heal yourself. If you got bad kidneys, you got bad kidneys. So where can the energy come from? Well, not from your kidneys, because they don't work. So we have to pull this energy from somewhere else that you have not discovered, and that's your mind. That's why we got to tap there. There's a pool of energy, currency, and frequency and language in your mind. That if you say the right words, eat the right foods, and do the right things, you'll send enough language, enough frequency, enough wave to these areas mentally that can help balance out what you don't have physically. And that's why this is so important. Okay? Some of you guys are coming to me at your weakest state, so we can't ask for the body to do no more. Chemotherapy has drained you. Dialysis has drained you. Dealing with these issues have drained most of you of your physical energy. Remember that when people are coming to me, they're on their deathbed, and I'm the last Mohican. I'm the last Dundada. I'm the last hoorah. And I'm trying to tell people, you're coming to me too late, especially without knowing this information. Okay, I want to save you, but I can't if you don't know this information. And if you come in so debilitated that you can't eat, which means that you can't consume what I'm putting to you, or what needs to be put to you, and if you can't do this stuff, then it won't mean nothing. So that's why we need to transfer this information to stop being such a curative, just esoteric, so sacred knowledge, to where we need to put this shit out here so that you guys can get this thing going preventative. I'm really trying to teach the people who are already healthy how to stay healthy. I want you to be healthy and maintain your health. At this particular point, we need to be healthy and maintain our health. Can you maintain your health going to the grocery store all your life? No, you won't live forever. You won't live forever. So regardless if you say living forever is a barometer of health or not, that's on you. For me, everlasting life or death, letting you know if you was healthy consciousness or physical, right? So at the end of the day, can grocery store help you be eternal life? No. Can growing your own food? Yes, under the parameters of what we're talking about. It has to be some more stuff that's got to be added into that. You going and getting your own natural spring water and all that, could that help you live forever? Yes. The only other paradigm to getting these natural things, let's say you are growing your own foods, you got a well in the backyard, you're outdoors all day, and you're getting enough sunlight, but you still sick. Let's say you outdoors, you're an outdoor person, you're living out in, but you got cancer, tumors, goddamn diabetes, dialysis, high blood pressure, you got everything under the sun, but you out here in nature. Thank you. Thank you for being that way, so that we can give examples to the motherfuckers that think it's that easy, because it's not. That's one part of it. So being exposed and embracing nature is one part of your healing component. The other one is your spiritual tendencies. This is the thing that all of y'all keep calling me for, and you don't want to do that part. Well, HerbMan, I changed my diet, and I'm taking your herbs, and I'm doing this. But your life, when it comes to that spiritual shit, is stuff still bothering you. That's why you can't cure yourself. The mind cannot keep leaving the body, vulnerable and victimizing your understanding of this balance and act. Your mind keeps leaving your body. So you keep getting stressed out, and then you get stressed out, then you forget what happens to you when you forget what happened to the body when you get stressed out. So soon as that nigga come in there with that bullshit, you engaging him with that bullshit in your mind because he said something to you, and motherfucker, you know, don't play with you. And so you let your mind take you there, leave your body vulnerable. Now you got high blood pressure, you got to pop your pill. Now you want to eat something you ain't got no business to eat. Have you ever noticed that when you smoke something, you ain't got no business to smoke, you'll eat something you ain't got no business eating? When you drink something you ain't got no business drinking, you'll eat something you ain't got no business. Have you ever noticed that one thing you ain't got no business doing lead to another thing you ain't got no business doing? You ain't never noticed that, did you? One thing you ain't got no goddamn business doing lead to another goddamn thing. Look, your wife told you today, nigga, you better eat that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, keep your ass in that truck, don't you do nothing. But what happened was you were going to do it too. You had your lunchbox, you got your truck, you telling your homeboy you're going to do good today and all that type of shit. Then that thing, you know, something happened on the highway, made you goddamn had to pull over to their pilot stop. At the pilot stop, your homeboy them now drinking a Michelob. You said, fuck it, I have a little Michelob and shit because I got a little layover. That one little Michelob. All you did was drink a Michelob. That one little goddamn Michelob, that thing, you know, you eating hot wings or some fries. You got lemon pepper. You got I got them order 25p with some forgot all about that peanut butter. They got them that tea in the truck. Cause a layover brought you to a pilot stop to some other folk that didn't know you, to where you just needed to spend some time. Their time was a Michelob. They don't know you like that, so they don't know you don't supposed to be drinking. They don't know you don't supposed to be doing shit, and you don't want them to know, but you just want to pass time. So you consider, okay, goddamn, a Michelob won't hurt, but that one Michelob led to some 20p lemon pepper and some fries. Now I got to pop my high blood pressure medication. And I was just off the motherfucker for a day or two, eating right with my wife. How in the hell is this happening? Did one thing I wasn't supposed to do, led to doing everything I wasn't supposed to do. Because when your mind leaves your body, you're leaving your body vulnerable to its fleshly addictions and habits. When your mind is leaving your body, thinking about tomorrow or thinking about yesterday, you're leaving your body vulnerable, victimizing the body to its own habits, because your body is a creature of habit. Without the mind, it ain't gonna change shit. If you fuck 50 times a day without your mind, your body gonna want to fuck 50 times a day. It's only your mind is gonna say 5 is okay for the day, motherfucker. Your body gonna want to drink all the beer in the liquor store. It's only your mind they're gonna be like, nah, nigga, 2 beers a day is okay. Your body will smoke itself to sleep. The Newport or the giant, okay? Your body will smoke it. Your body will kill itself without your mind controlling the dynamic. So when your mind is leaving your body, you're letting your body walk through this bitch as a zombie, consuming all of its fleshly needs and desires at once, and that's causing you to have issues in your life. Hopefully you guys get this message today, you guys. Keep tapping the screen. Let's get to 100,000 likes. Keep tapping the screen. I want to ask you, Scott, I want to answer your questions. Anybody got questions? Anybody got questions? I want to do one birthday. I wasn't going to do everybody's. So don't think I forgot about it. I wasn't intending to do everybody's birthday today. Okay? That was not intention. If you got a question, post your question. If you got a question, post your question. If you got a question, post your question. Not a birthday, question time. Any questions thus far? Any questions thus far of why the owner's manual is probably going to be the best thing on the planet? I would say not probably, but will. This is the most ancient timekeeping tool on the planet. So this is a tool. And I try to teach people all the time, you know, I'm old school, so I used to dib and dab into the game long time ago, where they used to give us these as scales. This was a scale. It used to be a little silver scale, And you can put your little bag on there to see if you got an old Selma, if you got your old Michael Vick or not, right? So I'm talking in codes for those that know. So this is a measuring tool, which means it uses numbers to measure the tendencies of an individual born under the planetary movements at that particular time. So we use your birthday because numbers is a language that's giving us a lot of information about you that your blood test can't do, your blood sample can't do, your blood type can't do, that your hair sample can't do, that your stool sample can't do, that your urine sample can't do, that your live culture from your little nasty bump can't do, that that you understand. So it don't prick you. This ain't gonna prod you. It ain't gonna poke you. We ain't gonna give you a lifetime of medications with this thing right here. So it's non-invasive, it's non-intrusive, it's using birthday as a particular information source to who that birthday belongs to. And it's working absolutely wonderful. Took me from where I've been to where I'm at. And I'm live in South Africa right now talking to you. Been doing this and created a business off of this dynamic since 2018. Okay, since 2018. So we've been doing this thing for a minute, you guys. All right. So now, mind leaving the body, understanding the times, understanding all of that. The biggest question is now is, do we know where we are? Okay. Once you tell me about my mind leaving my body, I get that. You tell me about the time and record keeping, I get that. Boom, boom, boom. But where am I right now should be the question for each and every one of you. Because if you don't know where you at, then how you know how to ride that wave? And if you don't know how to ride that wave, if you can't get on its frequency, then you can't get enough synergy, enough power, enough exclusivity, enough source to push toward the healing that you're looking for. See, it's got to be synchronized so that you can get that synchronicity. That power is in the synchronicity. So you got to find the channel, find the wave. What do you do in a high tide? Okay, what do you do during a low tide? So now with a birthday, this is what you would do. So 4/27/72. Okay, 4/27/72. So every owner's manual has a manufacturing date. Okay, so your manufacturing date is your birthday. From your birthday, we get all the information that we need, which is why I'm teaching you about timekeeping. Okay, I am the timekeeper. So 4/27/72, 421 to 521 is going to make you a what? 421 to 521 is going to make you a Taurus. Okay, and you're born in the first decan of that Taurus. Okay, so you right here. The whole point to this cycle and to this understanding is that you need to make it back here. To make it back to Taurus in your lifetime, well, you'll be 120 years old. So now this birthday not only tells me your destination, which is to make it back to Taurus, your birthday is also going to show me where you're currently located in the map of life. Okay? So I don't know whoever this is, Queen Ali Maya. So Queen Ali Maya, watch this. You're in the first decan of Taurus. You were born in the first 6 days. So that means you were born in the first 6 days. Then you're born in the first decan of Taurus. Okay, the first decan. I'll give you 2 years in the Taurus. All right, so let's see. So, yeah, so I give you 2 years in the Taurus. Right? So 2, 12, 72 years old. Okay, that's what we're looking for. 72. I mean, born in 72. So that means you're 53. 53. So watch, 53. So I'm going to give you 2 years old here. So 12, 22, 32, 42, 52, and you're 1 year, because you're 53, so you're 1 year in Scorpio. Okay? So you're currently in Scorpio. 1 year in Scorpio, meaning that something has just started in your life. What just started in your life is some kind of joint possession that you're about to get. some kind of inheritance or some type of loan or some type of money that you're about to get from some kind of joint venture. Okay, some kind of joint venture, something just started. Either some kind of somebody owe you by the loan, or some kind of 401k, some kind of inheritance, or something. You just got some notifications that's that Scorpio. Joint possessions. Okay. Now, another thing that we get from the birthday is your model number. Okay. Model number is very important. The model number, we get that just like a life path number, 4 plus 27, which is going to be 31. 3 plus 1 is going to give you 4. Okay, then you got 17 plus 2. All right, that's going to give you 19. 19 and 1 is 10. It's going to give you 1. 1 and 4 is going to give you 5. All right, so 5 right there automatically lets me know that the biggest spiritual thing for you, okay, spiritual. All right, so we'll talk about both spiritual and physical tendencies. Okay, so spiritual and physical tendency. For the spiritual tendency, as a 5, Aaliyah, Queen Aaliyah, watch your doubt and trust. Okay, Queen Aaliyah. For spiritual tendencies, at a model number 5, doubt and trust. Okay, doubt and trust. Watch that. All right. Watch that, because that can lead to weight issues. Okay, weight and metabolism. Okay, weight and metabolism, thyroid issues, all of that. Now, because you're in the first decan of Taurus, you also want to watch some stuff going on with your nose. Okay, and your sexual desire. Stuff going on with the nose and sexual desire. Now, this point in your life, this high point, remember, you're at your most high state. You're at your magnetic state. This is your spiritual state. Less physical energy, more spiritual energy. But now watch this now. There's a decision that you're going to have to make here in Scorpio. And that decision is going to end up being 2 things. But I want you to understand that seeing the ugliness in things could be very beneficial for you during this time. Okay, now obviously, if you do the owner's manual, we give you the herbs, the foods, we give you all that stuff for you to understand. But know this, you're going north and you're on the right side. So you're on the east side, you're on the spiritual time, the rest, the manifest, the high tide, the new moon, the waxing moon. I'm telling you everything that you need to know, even though you probably don't understand what I'm saying. I'm really giving it to you. You can go on YouTube and rewind this video, for you keep rewinding it so that you can understand. YouTube is going to post this live. So if you guys are coming in and you can't make the show, we're coming live from YouTube. You can always go to YouTube and just dig up our daily shows to learn. Especially if you guys have gotten your owner's manual, you guys are getting your herbs in and you're doing all that. We do sell the herbs for these as well. If you're doing all that stuff and you want to learn, go to YouTube, because once we get finished with the live, they'll automatically post it there. All right. So again, Queen Aaliyah, what we say? Okay, I'm going to buy my manual. Oh yeah, I already knew you was anyway. You know what I mean? I already knew you was anyway. But understand that now we're understanding how to ride that wave of life. Okay, that I want you to be more resting. I want you to chill out. I want you to relax. I want you to be more content, more peaceful. I want you to understand your dreams, understand your imaginations, start to allow those things, your focus, your concentration, all your mental gifts is what you want to use now. Okay? But if you want to be healed by a physical condition, obviously we can give you the foods and herbs that help you do that. All right? Anybody else? Anybody else? YouTube, if y'all want to come chime in and give me a birthday, you can. They're doing birthdays, all right? So where am I? BMW 1970. Question, the spirit can overconsume in emotions, right? No. So that's my thing. The emotional side is a connection to your spiritual side. So the emotions is a connection to your spiritual side. Remember, energy in motion. So the emotions has a lot to do with the way you act. Right? Remember, we talked about thought, feelings, and actions, right? It take a thought to create a feeling, take a feeling to create an action. So your emotions got a lot to do with how you act and how you act out something or feel about something, because they are your feelings, okay? And that's going to have a lot to do with your spirituality, because this is all internal way before it's manufactured outwardly. You know, everything is working inwardly before we see some kind of product, some kind of matter, some kind of material coming from your thought life. But it all was being produced from the inside. So you start to understand the whole spiritual concept of the corn, right? Remember, I was telling y'all about the corn. The biggest thing about corn was gestation and manifestation. So gestation and manifestation was things that are working behind the scenes, things that are working. Remember the womb here and the womb here. 9 months, things are working behind the scenes before you see a baby, right? So that should give you some kind of understanding of ideas here, that you should really have value on the internal workings of your thoughts. Remember, a woman can walk right in front of me right now bucket naked. She ain't touched me. She ain't did nothing to me. But because I'm watching her, looking at her, something gonna rise in me. Y'all see my shirt out here, right? Why is my shirt out here? This woman ain't did shit but walk around me butt naked. Is because thoughts internally can create a physical ramification, a physical it can tell you what you're thinking about. So that's how really strong your thoughts are. So therefore, this whole reteaching you and getting you back to understanding the power of your thought life is your power of your thought life got you to where you at, no, regardless of how you like where you at. All we're doing is saying, if you just focus on understanding that power, use it for your benefit instead of acting like you're an amateur with this goddamn mind. When are you going to grow up to use his mind? When are you going to mature in being able to use this gift called the mind? When are you going to be able to professionalize this gifting called mind? Or are you going to keep being a baby at 70 years old with your brain's power? You're going to keep being a baby at 30 years old with your mind's power. Like, you don't know why you got in this situation? Your fucking mind, nigga. Fuck wrong with y'all, man. Let's stop playing with ourselves, man. When are we going to wake up and start to really be teachers, masters of the mind game? Stop being in your baby stage. Talking about healing yourself. Seeing that modern medication ain't working and now you ain't got no goddamn nothing to choose from. Yes, it's within you. Choose you. Don't choose lettuce. Don't choose tomatoes. Don't choose running. Don't choose exercising. Choose you. Okay? Choose you. You are the first choice. Then we can choose what you need, what you require. But the first choice is choosing self. Okay? All right? All right, you guys, I got about 26 more minutes. You guys, thank you for the 100K. Let's get right into it. I've been following me, and then I found my key. There you go. There you go. There you go. Body present fiction. Yeah. And so you got to be present in the moment. A lot of people don't know what it feels like to be present. They're scared of the present moment. They get more anxiety. They'll rather be thinking about tomorrow or thinking about yesterday than thinking about today. But what I'm just saying is we can't hear you with that disconnect. There's no way with that crimp in the holes that we're going to be able to send power through there and it's going to get to the microwave. That crimp in that hose ain't going to get them kidneys online. It's a crimp in the energy hose. That crimp in that hose ain't going to get that healing power to the heart. That crimp in that hose ain't going to get that healing power to the arm, to the cheek that's got Bell palsy, to the eye that's blind, or that's getting glaucoma or cataract. See, there's no power. Something is obstructing the power. Hey, man, please help. I've been trying to disprove my birth chart. I don't know about what disprove means. My birth date is whatever. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I'm not doing it for disproof, homie. So go somewhere else with it, woofooly. Okay, I do this for health, not disproving. I've been stressing, trying to stay present and not in the past or future for about 2 weeks. Yeah, some people are stressed. That's what I'm trying to say. It can be very difficult, which is why it's very difficult for people to meditate. The reason why it's very difficult for people to meditate is that main thing. They can't sit and just not do shit. That present moment, they don't know what the hell you mean. Not worry about nothing, not think about nothing. What the hell you mean not desire nothing? No. My mouth got dry when you said don't desire nothing. I instantly got thirsty. I instantly got I needed some bubble gum or chewing gum. So you said don't want nothing. I instantly wanted a donut, or I need to poo or fart, or I instantly need to go to the bathroom and piss, or I need something to eat. Soon as you told me to be still, I instantly wanted to move. I instantly had a twitch. I don't know nothing about standing still, but it's in this stillness. In this stillness is in this peace. So when somebody trying to tell you how to sit still, it ain't that we're trying to tell you not to think. We're just trying to tell you that where is the peace? When I'm describing to you how to meditate, I'm not saying that you can fully control your mind to eradicate thought. Whoever teaching you that, they don't know how to meditate anyway. But what I'm trying to say is, can you find a place in the mind where you can be able to relax it? Is there a pasture in the mind where you can sit and just be at the still waters? Do you have a Psalms 23 location in your brain? Is there a bunk bed? Is there an air mattress? Is there a heavenly suite? Is there a upper room? Is there a mansion? Is there some place that you can go in the mind to get rest a little bit? Peace. That's meditation. Can you find the resting place in the mind? That's meditation. I ain't talking about stopping thoughts. I'm talking about finding your safe haven, your safe place in your mind. That's meditation. And if I can get you to that place, I'm saying in that place is producing in you a healing component called melatonin. That is your self-healing abilities. It is an anti-aging agent. It is a skin lightener. Why would I want my skin to be light? I don't want it to be light. But what it's trying to get me to understand is that being under the sun is going to make you dull. So you got to have something that's going to combat the fact that you are children of a sun, children of a brightness or a light, children of a intelligence or an information. And what will happen is that will stress the body. That will change you in the dynamic. So we put in you some things to combat things on the outside of you. we place some things inside of you that are combative, that are opposition to some external environmental things that may take place. But if you don't know this dichotomy, if nobody's ever taught you your human frame and human design, if nobody's ever taught you your purpose and your reasoning, if nobody's ever taught you your functionality, then what happens is you come into this thing half-ass, half-win, to where when environmental stimuli hit you, you can't battle it because you don't know thyself. And you can't heal thyself if you don't know thyself, you guys. And I ain't going to keep on busting you upside the head. Anybody that is interested in your owner's manual, please DM me. We'll get you to the right place at the right time. All right. Dr. Richardson, we already did you, so I'm not going to do you here on the live. 91798. Let's go ahead and get you out the way so that before I mute you. Okay, because I hate somebody begging. Okay, we don't want to beg. For your funky measly $50, we're gonna get you all the information that you need. So asking me about your life here for free ain't gonna get you all your information that you need. Okay, so if you're really in need, you need to go and conjugate up and go do a what they call that, fundraiser for $50. Because you won't really be able to get everything you need here. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're really in need, you need to pay the funky $50, okay? If you're just looking to see something, okay, I'll do you, okay? But don't get mad at me if you don't get everything you need in a free thing on goddamn TikTok, bro. All right? Don't get mad. Because you're begging like you got a problem. We want to help you, but you know you ain't going to get everything like this here, bro. Okay? 91798. 821 to 921 is going to have you in the Virgo. Okay. 821 to 921, you're in the last decan of Virgo. Okay. I don't know why I put you over there in Aquarius, but in the last decan of Virgo. All right. So that's going to be here. And that's the reason why you're on my channel. You're into health and fitness. And that's fine. Okay. The biggest point for you is to make it back here. Making back here is going to be 120 years old. Okay. So since you're in the last decan of Virgo, that means you got most or all of Virgo. So we're going to say 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. So you what? 37, 27. Thank you. 27, right? So you got 10, 20, and 7 years. So you're in the last decan of Scorpio. Same thing with you as well. Looking for a loan, a joint possession, something that you're about to possess. Joint. There's a joint possession, okay, of something that you're about to do. So you're going to co-possess something or get into a co-venture with somebody, or it's already done happen. Matter of fact, it's already done happen for you. You're ending that phase of everything, right? So you already done got the loan, you already done got the inheritance, or you already done did the joint venture. You already done did it. But the biggest thing for you was to see the ugliness of the situation right there. Now, the model number 9 and 17 is going to make you have 9 and 17 is going to be 26. So you're going to have 8 between the date and the month. Okay, you're going to have 8 there. 19 plus 8 is 27, 79. 70, I'm sorry, is 27, 72 is 9. 9 and 8 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. All right. So your biggest spiritual tendency, okay, your biggest spiritual tendency is self-control. Okay. You got some self-control issues that can lead to some digestive problems. Okay. Self-control, digestive issues, high blood sugar, all that type of stuff that you may have to worry about one day. So you want to be careful about those things. All right. Who else that was? You're also in a spiritual state. So again, be more magnetic instead of electric. You want to be more resting, more manifesting. Okay, that's that time of life. Less physical energy, more spiritual energy, more thought life, more focus, more concentration, more prayer, more meditation to bring things to you so you ain't got to be doing all this stuff because you're at your most highest state. Remember that you're going north, and to go north, the right side. So you just hit that right side. So you're in that feminine energy. You're in your receptive time of life, not to be a giver, but a receptive, not to be a teacher, but a student, right? I'm receiving now. I'm back magnetic. I'm drawing it to me. Okay. Ride that wave instead of all that physical energy, and you'll be good to go. The biggest thing, though, is watch out for that self-control. Now, some other things that you want to watch out for. You are in the third decan of Virgo, so you want to be careful with digestion, as we just said, and then you also want to be careful with your reflexes. Okay. Digestion and your reflexes. Okay. Your ability to respond quickly to things. Okay. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. That's what you want. All right. Anybody else? Yep. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's how we do it. What y'all trying to put up your model number? If you know your life path number, we can do it that way too, for you to at least be able to know your spiritual and physical tendencies. Either way, you can tell me your disease, and I can tell you what's going on. You can tell me your birthday, we can tell you what's going on. You know, I mean, there's several different ways we'll be able to be very accurate with what's going on in your life. Okay, very, very simple ways. I didn't get no feedback from whoever that was that I just did, because I know they was mad at me from cussing their ass out about tapping so much, but it's all good. They didn't say I was wrong. They didn't say I was wrong, you guys. You keep tapping, I'll keep talking. This is what we're offering. There's not a product, a panacea product, but there is a panacea program, and that program is nature-based interventions. That's what the owner's manual will do for you. Okay, 425.78. I done a lot of 4 stuff. 1225.75 Leon Rowe. You paid for yours. I don't necessarily want to give you a free reading here. Carl Winters, 4347. I do like them old school Chevys, even though y'all the same stuff, for this and for that. Okay, everybody wants to know the same stuff on the same day at the same time. All right, 4347. I think that's what they said, right? 4347. Carl Winters, 4347. Carl, you might as well just go ahead and pay your measly $50, all right? Because you ain't gonna be able to get everything you need in this reading. But 321 to 421, okay, that means that you are going to be an Aries. All right, Carl, your biggest thing is to make it back to Aries. You're born in 47. Okay, so we already know that's gonna make you what? You're about 78. Thank you, about 78, Carl. Right. So now you're also born in the middle decan of Aries. Okay. So the middle decan of Aries, that lets me know that you at least got 3 years. To be quite honest, you did 4 here. So 3, 4. So 4, that's 14, 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, 74. Okay. And then 77. So you are 78. So you're in the middle decan of Sagittarius. Okay. So right now you're stuck right dab in the middle of some movement going on in your life. There's some moving parts, some moving pieces. Even you may be moving, Carl Winters. Right now, currently, you're in the middle of moving. Traveling. You're either traveling or you're literally moving. But right now, you're in the middle of that move, either traveling or moving, okay? You're also in the spiritual time of life. So less physical work, more spiritual work, Mr. Carl Winters. And then also because this is 4347, 4 and 3 is 7. 14 plus 7 is 21. That gives us a 3. So 3 and 7 is going to make 10. That's going to be a 1, okay? So your spiritual stuff is stress and fear, okay? And the physical tendencies is going to be blood. Okay, your physical tendencies is going to be the blood. And then also I'm going to put the bone. Okay, the blood and the bones. So watching your kidneys, watching your adrenals, watching your energy, watching your blood sugar, your blood pressure, watching your blood pressure, watching your arthritis, watching your skeletal system, all of that's coming from stress and fear. Your energy, your adrenals, your kidneys, your high blood pressure, your bone issues, stress and fear. Okay? Stress and fear. You're in the spiritual time of life. Learn how to ride that wave, especially at 78. All right? What Carl Winters at? Because I ain't hear him say nothing. If you guys are not going to respond, please do not put your birthdays in, okay? Carl Winters. If you guys are not going to respond, please do not put your birthday in there. The present is a present for us who welcome it with gratitude. Yeah, that's the thing, though. But, life will get you all over the place. Life will get you all over the place. Now, that was Carl Winters. That's what I was looking for, Carl Winters. But I already know that's one of them people who going to call you later and try to tell you, hey, look now. 11479, you are a Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio here, born in the middle decan. Okay, so what's that? 4 years. So 4, 14, 24, 34, 44. So you are currently in your Aryan state. Okay, which means that you're all about your appearance, your self-identity, you're all about self-growth. You're just being self-aware. You kind of got your selfishness hat on right now. And that's fine. You're in the middle deacon of that. So you're right dab in the middle of it. And that's the lesson that you're learning. The biggest thing that you want to learn out of here is that we want you to choose a little chaos, choose a little drama. I know that might not sound right, but choose a little chaos, choose a little drama in your life. Now, you don't need a whole bunch of it, but a little chaos, a little drama won't hurt nobody. Okay, these are lessons, life lessons. So some things are gonna call for you to be a little chaotic. Some things are gonna cause for you to be peaceful. Some things are gonna cause for you to be, a little restrictive. Some things are gonna cause for you to be loose. Some things are gonna cause for you to do these things, and you got to make the right decision in order to pass the test for the lesson that that particular zodiac or that life lesson is trying to teach you. That is true. Been a people for so long. I am choosing me now. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, there you go. But the biggest thing is understanding that you're in that physical, that low tide. Okay, that low tide is going to be your initiation. Okay, you're starting. So you want to be planting seeds. You want to be initiating things. You want to go ahead and start planting and sowing in this time in your life with your physical energy, taking care of your body, being physically fit is definitely going to be very big for you, Tanisha. Okay. So I mean, I used to be a people pleaser. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All right. So I'm gonna stop it right there, you guys. I'm gonna stop it right there. Again, there is a lot of people interested in this information. I know you can go and research the Shabaka stone. You can go and research Adam's calendar. You can go and research the Kemetic calendar. You can go and research Santos Bonacci and the astrotheology. You can go and research, medical astrology to try to get your head around what I'm talking about. You can go and research Nicholas Culpeper and the decumbiture and all these people who were very, very effective at being able to be a physician and an astrologer all at the same time. And you can see why that dynamic, even Hippocrates was a physician and an astrologer as well. So you can see why this thing could play a magnificent role just because it will be able to time us and be able to get us in the right timing with what parts of nature that needs to be intervened. It's one thing for them to research nature-based interventions and just let us know it works, but it's another thing in what is specific even in that arena. Everybody ain't gonna require just sunlight. Some people issues ain't about sunlight. Some people issues may be about natural spring water. Everybody's issue ain't gonna be about natural spring water. Some folks just may be about the foods and the way that they're eating their foods. Everybody ain't gonna be about the food. Some stuff it's just gonna be about the spirituality, the air that they're consuming, right? So then you got to quantify what parts of nature did this person actually need. What nature needs to be intervened to this person instead of just exposing them to all things and thinking that all that shit's gonna work. Now we can be more specific when we take down this model number and these manufacturing dates so that we can be more specified as to which model and which specs go with which model, which is you. All right, which is you, man. So, hey, man, I love you guys. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. We're going to continue to keep busting you guys upside the head with this headbanger boogie. We come on every day between the times of 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you got your owner's manual, if you got the herbs and you're looking for direction and correction and information and instruction, you can call us between the times of 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in order to get a consultation or others for to walk you through your owner's manual. All right. Until next time. Peace. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Love you. Peace. All right, Woos. Yes, sir.